With hundreds of events across the city and participants from around the world, this year's London Design Festival was encouragingly buoyant. From shop to showroom, there was talk of new ideas and old traditions, heritage and the future, materials and ways of working with them. And welcome conversations could be heard discussing the value of craftsmanship and sustainable design. Finnish manufacturer Artek's cafe at Design Junction was a reflection of all this. But to find out precisely why, we have to head to Finland. Good design, it seems, is in the DNA of Finland. Born in part out of necessity and in part out of disposition, Finnish designers in the middle of the last century worked to a set of ideals. Good design was for everyday life, not just for the elite, but for every single citizen. So from schools to hospitals, restaurants to living rooms, the now iconic pieces of furniture were the norm. And luckily, here was a nation who scorned conspicuous consumption and who were early champions of sustainable design.
It's this part of this Nordic common sense that you respect, especially wood. Wood is very respected, and especially if it has had a function, it's really rare that someone would trash it. You either give it away, bring it to a pawn shop, or give it to your children, or you keep it stored. So that's why there's so much of them still left and in good shape.
Finns did not worship at the temple of the new. They held on to their simple but beautifully made pieces, or exchanged them, perhaps in the subliminal hope that their much-loved but no longer needed belongings would find a new home. And Finnish manufacturer Artek came to the rescue. They became a kind of RSPCA for old and homeless Alvar Aalto furniture.
It was quite an emotional thing for all of us. When we went through the flea markets and schools and kindergartens from where we bought these things, we took them to our office, and our employees at the office started to say that, Mirko, don't do anything to them. Don't touch them, don't hurt them. Let them be as they are, and we thought that this might be start for something bigger.
At the 2007 Salone di Mobile in Milan, Artek's presentation revolved around this concept of buying back old pieces and of appreciating the imperfections that come with age. 4 years later, they opened a shop in Helsinki to consolidate this concept that was capturing the imagination of not just the industry, but the consumer too. They called their new venture Second Cycle.
You can smell the handwork and material and everything, and you can see the innovation and the work and everything. And those furniture, they still working, still rocking. And it's very important that because regular people can a little bit learn about furniture as well. The contemporary design can learn those shapes and everything, what is coming through the years. And for me, it's very, very important that we still can use those furniture.
Second Cycle is a kind of upscaling that understands consumers' connection to objects with a personal history. Each stool has an RFID code that chronicles its past life.
The story that we wanted to put forward is that the pieces are actually better than new. It has the value of the history and the story of the product. There's a lot of not just nostalgia, but longing for that you also look into your own history. And I believe when it comes to consuming, people are a lot more careful where they invest into. Even if it's a new product, they are really careful of if it's gonna last long, what are the materials, how do I take care of it, and you kind of already see that value embedded in many of the old pieces.
I think there are more and more people coming and rethinking their whole life and sort of maybe having less and having better things and sort of course, it's very much Finnish, yes, of course. I see so many people in Germany and in Japan, especially the Asian people, they love the sort of the historical background with the products and the perspective. I think it's a statement which more and more people want to make today.
Alvar Aalto's home, now a museum in the outskirts of Helsinki, is an ode to his ideology, in which sustainable development goes hand in hand with enlightened consumerism, a principle which still resonates today.
I think that Artek and the design philosophy behind the whole enterprise was aiming to the same objectives, really. To manifest for people that it really matters that what kinds of object you purchase to your home. It matters whether they are good design or whether they are design at all. But once you make the decision, it can be made for life in a way.
In Helsinki, for Monocle, I'm Gillian Tobias.